Thank you.
Yeah, I want to come back to Amanda's point about the socioeconomic factors in test scoring. And one of the things that's been appealing to me about the use of SOLs is that there's a normalization because whether it's good or bad, if you're in Virginia, the school systems are teaching and preparing the students for those tests. So every student has an opportunity to prepare for it, to take the test, and of course there are socioeconomic and familial factors that can impact that. But it seems to me to be significantly more appealing for normalizing the differentiation between resourcing, of kids. Like my kid had Kumon and tutoring and all that stuff, and he did very, very well. But I couldn't have had that. And I often wonder how much of a factor is that resourcing show up in the standardized testing. And if we're building a class or a university that's available to all, irrespective of where you start and what resources your parents have, then it seems to me that an SOL model levels that, whereas SATs and other SAT tests and ACT tests can be manipulated based upon resourcing. So I don't know, how does that show up in your analysis?
Well, thank you for the very valuable perspective. It doesn't show up in our analysis. That's not something I can speak to from an empirical perspective. I think you were right to point out that the Virginia SOLs are nearly universally taken by public high school students in the Commonwealth. I have a 9th grader and an 11th grader at Charlottesville High School. My 9th graders' teachers are very mindful of the approaching SOL exams. So I think you're right to say there is a universality that might reduce socioeconomic difference in access. And there is also some importance in school-based preparation. I also would emphasize, and again, this is one of the many reasons why I believe we would, as a university, want to very carefully study SOLs as a potential input in the admissions process, both internally and with colleagues at VDOE. What we don't know is how differences in SOL preparation might arise were the University of Virginia to signal openness to considering them as an input. It may be the case that if a family could submit an SOL, that could create incentives to start seeking out extracurricular preparation resources for the SOL in the way that some families do currently for the SAT and ACT. So that's a hypothesis, but it's a potential incentive, I think, it would bode us well to be mindful of, depending on the path forward that President Ryan and Vice Provost Farmer and colleagues pursue.